Kind of tempting to just shove, actually, with the KO that's on my head. Because, you know, a large fraction of the range like this will just call. So, and the idea is that, like, you know, if King Queen offsuit calls, then Ace Jack probably calls. And if King Queen offsuit calls, Ace 10 might call. Ace 10 suited probably calls. Kind of so on and so forth. Okay, we thought the button against hijack and we get squeezed, and I don't think, I mean, like, I think maybe I can think about shoving considering the KO. But I don't think the KO is like that meaningful, to be honest. So I'm going to call, which is what I would normally do. It's a bad flop. I don't think I get to fold nines. Kind of want to, though. I mean, like, kind of is like the wrong word. I really want to fold nines, but I don't think I should. Maybe I'm supposed to call the turn too when I pick up the gut shot. Tens here. Obviously, we're calling the 30 big blind 4-bet if it should happen. Here, blind versus blind, small blind limped. I ISO'd 3-2 suited, small blind limp called. Down here, where we see with the tens on a bad flop, we took it down, which is nice. Putting out the C-bet on King Queen 9, which is pretty meh. I mean, I don't have to do it, that's for sure. But I don't think it's bad either. I'm gonna C-bet here. Here I am gonna barrel. I would generally define this turn as being pretty bad. It's not an easy turn to barrel, but I think I have to barrel some hands. So I'm gonna barrel 9-8 of hearts for sure. So kind of sucks, but we're gonna call it off. No doubt. Ooh. Fuck. Pretty sure I'm gonna fold now. There's an ICM adjusted component to this as well, which is like we're approaching the bubble. Ugh! I made the worst fold ever. I made the worst fold ever. They both have jacks and tens. Oops. I mean, they're also kind of short, which is like a reason for just calling it off. Small blind raises. We make the call with 7-6 off, which seems very standard when you cover the player in the small blind. I'm going to check back the flop. I think betting sometimes is good. Gonna check. I do think my opponent can still have an ace. And this should be a really bad run out for, like, me. But you know, every now and then you get to put the moves on them. You heard me? Every now and then we get to do a little something. I don't like folding. I don't like being pushed around. You don't get to come into my house. This is my home game. This is the BBZ home game. It's got my name on it. You don't get to come in here and start trying to throw elbows. Doesn't work that way. I'm gonna call here. And down here, I'm gonna check raise. Here, I'm going to call. All right, check raise. I'm going to barrel. Coolered someone. Check raise plus barrel takes it. Works for me. So I opened. They all call. This guy jams. And I'm going to 2-bet to a small size. So we 2-bet, and unfortunately, this player made a straight. Now, we had the best hand going in, but it doesn't really matter. Got walked with kings. Never. That's like always the worst. Never want to get walked with kings. Down here, I'm going to open shove the button, actually, which is kind of interesting line, but we're approaching the bubble. They have 25 bigs. They have KOs on their head. I think building a shoving range makes sense. I'm going to shove the kings. Kings holds. A7 takes it down pre. Peel here. I think 3-betting is viable. I think folding is viable. I think calling's viable. Kind of do whatever I want. Gonna make the call. Gonna make the bet. I'm just gonna gun it. I was gonna gun it, but I think I'm gonna check this river back. No, I'm not. I lied. Yeah, I mean, I was hoping to make a hand like that one fold, to be honest. That was kind of the plan. Probably too optimistic, considering the timing of the call. But that was the plan. That was the plan. Considering this player has, like, you know, 80,000 up here. Considering this player has 80,000. That was a part of why we went for it. It's also like, you know, king queen fills out. Obviously, if I have king jack, I can have king queen. I can also have queen jack. So I can have all the tens. Like, I can have a lot of tens. I don't know if all of them, but I can have a lot of tens. Difficult spot to bluff catch. So, you know, I went for it. Yeah, 3-bet pot. I called with fives, trying to set mine. Didn't work out. Okay, guys, across all of the platforms that we're active on, you guys have made it very clear that in a product, you need something that is both comprehensive, affordable, and delivered at a high level. So a lot of people currently are being priced out of poker, and we're going to change that. So what we've done inside BBZ is we've assembled from over 150 hours of my personal content that I've created and delivered for my students and horses over the last 18 to 24 months. We took the best content from that and we structured it all, laid it out in a very A to Z course style format, and are now delivering it at this price point. That's right, this price point. Wait for it, 100 bucks, okay? So we're gonna have over 20 hours of content in this. This has never been done before, and we are going to help you to crush, okay? So this is going to be soup to nuts, A to Z, affordable, high level, and comprehensive. Head over to bbzpoker.com and get it now. Okay, just shove. Maybe I call. Queens into ace-5. GG Chris. Blind versus blind against Magnus. Gonna check this back. Magnus playing back a little bit so far. Going to make the call here. Going to c-bet against the big blind. Gonna double float with my gut shot. C-bet takes it down on the bubble. And gonna value bet the river. Lose to 2-pair. I almost checked. Almost. I almost checked. But I couldn't. This is too nitty. We've cashed. So no more hand for hand play. Looks like King 6 is gone. GG Calv. Jamming King 9 here. I think that makes sense. 16.5 bigs. It's not like my opponent has to fold better hands regardless of the KO on my head or not. If I had shoved without a KO on my head and I jammed and my opponent had King 10 or King Jack, I think my opponent would call. So I don't think it like makes a big difference in that spot to like my hand. On the downside, it might make it better, but I don't think it makes it worse. All right, so we open up ace 9. Can put out a small c-bet. Gonna double. Definitely thin, but I think good and thin as opposed to bad and thin. Pretty standard there with ace jack. Player's chasing my bounty and got it. Good luck, guys. Good luck, Magnus. Good luck, Sly Guy. GG in that tournament. C-bet the flop, got called, gonna barrel the turn. And ace 5 just got counterfeit. 8-9's not a part of his range or anything like that, so you don't have to worry about those types of hands. So it's a very good river. 10-5 just got counterfeit. So a lot of his bluff catches just got torched. We lose to ace queen, but and ace 10 obviously, and pocket fives. But good river. It's a good river. I'm gonna check call the turn, or sorry, check back the turn and call the river. This is, I think I'd rather bluff a little bit, just a little bit differently. Most of the time, it's a shitty river. I think I check and lose. Sucks. Obviously, if we barrel, we get that hand to fold. But I'm not sure that like barreling that's gonna work out great. Not that it's gonna be bad, but I think when he continues, he's gonna shove on me a lot. I think that's what happens. If I had an ace high flush, I'd just bet call, but it's a bit gross. McGregor versus Poirier, who do you have? I mean, I want Poirier to win. It's not even fucking close. I want Poirier to win. I think McGregor probably pulls it off, though. It's not even like, it's not like, for me, it's just not even remotely close. I really would really prefer. I don't think I would flat fives or fours pre-flop or deuces. So I think this is like getting down to like where the pairs are that I actually have that would lose. I don't actually have many pairs of sevens for flagging from this position either. So my range looks a lot like a pair of kings, pair of queens, pair of aces. So I think bluffing with a pair of eights makes sense. This is the bottom of my range. Is there something like known value percentages of values to look out for, or how would you go about it? I would get the video that is on my site where I do a database analysis session with Fintan. And the database analysis session that I do with Fintan goes, you know, I want to say in depth, but like we go through his database and I talk about like the numbers that are good numbers, the numbers that are bad numbers. And like that's a cheap way to do it. So I'm not saying that there aren't cheaper ways, but that's pretty cheap. So that's probably how I would do it. Doesn't cost much. It's like 20 bucks, 30 bucks. I don't know what it costs right now with Black Friday. That's legitimately how I'd do it if I didn't know how to do it. I don't know. This seems really close between like calling and not calling. And so like I'm going to not call and lose. All right, guys. Thanks very much. I appreciate everybody who hung out with me today. And it was fun. I'll see you guys later on in the week. Yeah. Thanks very much for hanging out with me, guys. I appreciate it. Peace.